Hello, welcome to my stream, and today I'm going to analyze some games from Gukesh and the Chess Olympiad. He gained like 30 points in this tournament, had only 2 draws in 2 games without any loss. So let's see what was the secret of his success. So let's analyze some games. The first one should be versus Stefansson Vignir Vatnar from Iceland, and he was black here. And there was this h6, which I believe was played by Praguing candidates or someone. This h6 becomes very often played recently. I guess it's more of a opening surprise and trying to just throw off your opponent from theoretical lines. I don't believe it has some objective strength to it. Although in some lines of Catalan there's some usefulness to stopping bishop g5, for example. Also, let's say if you go with knight c3, d5, then white has to be happy with playing bishop f4. He doesn't have bishop g5, so there are some positive sides to h6, but all in all I think it's a slightly dubious move, but not that bad. So white plays g3 here, bishop b4. Yeah, this check is very commonly played, trying to make the bishop on d2 silly, and then he goes back. So we have this, castle, d5, and now queen c2. And now black is claiming that he didn't waste any time with h6, that it's not a big deal. But I guess here that with queen c2 you're stopping c5. I wonder if c5 is good here or not. If you go c5, can you simply take on d5 and take on c5? But well, I guess here queen takes d5 would be slightly provocative. Knight c3 comes with tempo, so I don't believe really that's such a good idea. So c5, if you take on d4, I can probably take on e6 and play against the isolator on, sorry, against this d4 weakened pawn. I could go rook d1, bishop c3, if in case the queen is still on d8. And I guess in the end I pick up this pawn quite comfortably. So I guess the best choice here is, well, if you take ed, there's gonna be dc, and how do you actually regain this pawn? Because now bishop on d2 proves to be a good piece, because b4 is possible to keep an eye on the c5 pawn. But first of all, how do you... Also, rook c1 could be a better non-committing move, because maybe in some cases b4 can be met by a5 and breaking the queen side. So if you don't need to, maybe it's better to keep b4 just in case. Let's say knight to e4, maybe you can go knight d4. And then you cannot capture. I mean, you could maybe. I guess not. I guess not. Wait a second. So on b4, maybe there's some queen e5 unpleasant stuff. Oh, but no, wait. You can go knight f3, right? Can you go knight f3 and trap the queen if he takes on a1? Maybe he has bishop f5 and things move on, but I don't know, this looks pretty bad to me. 2 pieces for a rook. Plus, I have this bishop, which is a monster. Now, it should not work. But here, somewhere, I think I made a mistake. Okay, you cannot take with the bishop, because bishop e4 wins a piece. If you take with the queen, then bishop e4 again does... Oh, but then you take on d4. Wait a sec. I guess you can go here. But then bishop takes. Maybe bishop e3 and then... Black still has to worry about the weak d4 pawn. So I'd give white better chances. So yeah, c5 here, I'm not sure in this version. I would have to check later with the engine. So my plan is to speed out all of my all of my ideas here and then to check them with the engine later to see how well I did in this analysis, which will be very humbling because of the engine. So yeah, Gukesh here chose the closed Catalan approach with c6. Now rook d1 is played and he doesn't touch c4. He just continues developing bishop f4 because bishop on d2 is really not a great piece, so he does this. I've seen some lines with bishop e1 or let's say b4 and bishop e1 doing this kind of stuff, expanding on the queen side like this.